objectives. So one is Pearson is in the middle of a big transformation from a publisher to a digital education company. And at the same time, it is consolidating a lot of its legacy applications across the globe to what we have been calling core platforms, like one ERP system that supports all our users across the globe. So when we are doing that, there are significant challenges when we are moving vast amounts of data from our legacy systems to a brand new systems. There is business transformation in place. So this position is all about looking at data quality issues, creating visualizations, and most importantly, finding the root cause analysis as to why data quality problems are happening. Is it an application or an applications that we need to go out and fix? Is it a transformation issue? And then ultimately provide recommendations and insights to the business that this is what we recommend from our perspective, that you should focus on 1, 2, 3 things, and that should eliminate 60% of the problems that we are seeing. So it starts all the way from analysis, and it will end with recommendations and insights to the business. Does that help?
Yeah.
All right. So Pallavi, I'll let you start with the questions.
Yeah. Thanks, Ravi. Hey, Soumya. I looked at your profile and looks like you have very good exposure to IDQ and not yet. Could you give me some more insights on what kind of transformations you have used and what kind of validations you applied during the data analysis?
So basically, I would like to say that I'm in actually doing the data transformation. I would like to say in this case, and also responsible for you know the transformation of the data from the source code environment in this case, and other cells responsible for handling the transformation from the routine time runtime environment. So I was responsible for testing the analytics dashboards and then having the data lineage in this case, and also creating the custom payroll for the payroll based stuff, that creating the operational excellence reports, which will help us to have the streamlining of the it is high identifying and automation work closely, and also use integrated reporting rows. In this case of the Google Sheets, and also using the waste and the applications like the action, employer, and role of IT in this case. And then it's like that part of the runtime in the payroll integration, and would also like to say that I have been working on the streamlining of the data. And then interesting that the data warehouse development in this case, when we'll be actually using the database administration and using the data source under the hood for the data ingestion and normalization.
Okay. Did you use IDQ in your previous project, or I saw IDQ and that's where I asked this question about the transformations?
I use Excel in the other projects. I would like to say, so basically extraction using the transformation in IDQ, you would like to say in the Informatica for the transformation.
So some kind of transformations like router or match transformation, and why did you use a router transformation, right? Did you ever use all of those transformations, or?
Yeah, I was responsible for using the router and the output transformation in this case for the lookup catchy.
So why did you use a router transformation? That's fine. If you don't know, we can move on to the next question. So usually we use router transformation for multiple selects of data. Like if I need to combine and choose certain criteria, you will use router transformation, and based on those cases, you will route to the proper, next steps of workflow. How comfortable you are with SQL?
I'm very good with that.
Okay. Let me go ask a couple of questions in SQL. What's the main difference between delete and truncate? Why do you use delete and why do you use truncate?
The difference between the delete and the truncate is delete operation will be rolled back, where is truncate operation cannot be rolled back. And front-end 2018 operation can be wrapped up in the transaction, and then coming to the delete, record will be rating one by one and make sentence for each. And every deletion in the transaction logs with the truncate and delete the pages and make for the election of the president of UNO operation performance improvement.
Why do you use an index?
To quick retrieval of data.
Okay. You mentioned about data profiling, right? What are the product tools you have used for data profiling, and what's the maximum volume you worked with for data profiling?
Coming to the editor profile in 25 in Excel, using data cleanser, and I also been using the Open Studio and diagnosis and data profiling inside one from Attica, and I was also in the aggregate profiler for the various kinds of key features. In this case, for cleansing of the data from various sources, and basically data profiling is a process of living that is a source and understand the structure and content in relationship in the repair of a potential at the project.
Okay. Ravi, would you like to?
Sure. I have a few SQL questions for you, Soumya. So can you tell me what is a self-join and any use case where you will use a self-join?
So basically, I would like to say that the self-join is a regular join, and then in this case, the table is joined with itself. So basically, use it to query the hierarchical data and compare the rows in the case. And apart from that, we can join the query will be helping you have the same reference of your action. Using it for getting the data from which table, let's have a staff ID and the manager email like it, right, to have the table between information such as the ID and the first name and the last name and the column for the manager ID, which describes the direct manager for the report. Because in this case, we can I should have that predicate with message to employee in the manager in Asia Shiva, the values for the manager ID.
Okay. Can you tell me what are constraints in SQL?
Primary key constraints, special rules for the data in the table, that continents are used for the limit of the data in the table, and ensure that the gender of the actress is reliability of the data in the database in the would be the column level or table level. And then the constraint can be also used for having a specific a particular column, and then also be used for a simply instruction in place on the columns and write the standard to maintain that access and integrative on the data in the database table.
Okay. Can you tell me what is the largest amount of data set that you had to deal with in this roles?
5 terabytes of the data in one of the database is which was running on the Hadoop cluster, and then inside the Informatica, having 600 gigabytes of Jassy in this case.
Okay. Have you had any experience where you did your portion and you took it to the next step, which is really providing insights and recommendations to the business? And if so, can you give us an example of what that looked like?
Definitely. I would like to say that committed insights into the business is an accident in the transaction logs of the various kinds of e-commerce transactions, which you have done by the various kinds of stakeholders that directly respond for analyzing the kind of things in this case, and also how we could, talk to the various stakeholders and then understand how this could be lies on the runtime environment. And apart from that, also we could get the transactions handled and also less than a sword of the target integration environment, and also how we can take the release integration in this case. And also we could create the various cancer, and then we also had to create the custom reports and insights into the sales data.
Okay. On the talks, you mentioned that you had experience with star schema and snowflake schema. Is that right?
Yeah.
How did you use them and in what capacity?
Using the star schema and snowflake schema, so basically coming to the star schema, I was using it for resistance of dimensions of angels, Kesava, and actually time to you like that for this is a runtime environment, and also for the fact table and for the dimension tables. And apart from that, the starting I was architecture of simple data warehouse, and also for the time where you are getting the data in the simplest format and trying to create the various basic queries and just presenting that for the peripheral and badminton and indexing that on the dimensional table. I was responsible for creating the order ID and the other date and providing the product ID in this case, and specifying the name of the product in the category, and then specify the unit of the ID in this case.
Okay. Pallavi, do you have any more questions for Soumya?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
All right. Soumya, I'll give you some time to ask any questions that you have for us.
Okay. Can I know the team size?
So, Pallavi, pretty much she runs the program. Anything goes wrong, anything is required, Pallavi is the go-to person. But we have 2 other data analysts in the same office. We are one next week and another one the week after. And then we have offshore resources who help out Pallavi with all data analysis and data quality asks that come within Pearson.
How soon would be the, if at all, you need me in the project?
So we are expecting to make the decision. Like there is one more candidate maybe that we'll be talking to, but we are expecting to make the decision by next week. And then after that, it would be the paperwork and everything that we need to process. Our target date is to have somebody start as a data analyst starting February 1 if possible.
And also, what are the expectations from that candidate?
So it is working very closely with Pallavi, the business data governance team, um, to see what kind of demands we are getting, working with them to prioritize the demands, working with the business to make sure we have enough requirements or adequate requirements to act on the demand, do the work, whether it is creating some kind of a visualization, some report, doing some data analysis, and then providing clear and concise deliverables and outcomes to the business. And then at the same time, as part of the delivery, provide our recommendation and insights to the business that this is something that we have noticed. So as I was saying early on during the call, our goal for this year is going to be focused on finding the root cause analysis for data quality issues. And secondly, more focused on providing insights and recommendations rather than just creating visualizations and let the business figure out or let the business guess what can be going on, because we are supposed to be the subject matter experts when it comes to our system.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have.
All right, Soumya. Really appreciate you getting on. Thank you for your time. Apologies, I don't know why the wires crossed, but I'm glad we finally met. And we'll let Alex know.
Actually, I was with the baby to explore. Yeah.
Thanks, Soumya.
All right. Thank you. Nice to meet you.